Hello, Internet, and welcome to another Spider Chat. I just want to dig in and start talking some spider books, so let's go. To start Spider Chat, I kind of want to go with the oddity of the pile because Deadpool Spider Man Oldies #1 is something interesting, it's something fun. The idea is Peter is old and his life is more or less behind him, and he's in a wheelchair. He's just looking 90, 100, whatever. And Wade is in the same old folks' home and pushing him to try to get back to being Spider Man in one form or another. And seeing where that's going. And this whole mystery setup, it's a, alternate future world or however they're going to want to play it. I don't care. It's fun to see characters at an advanced age play around. This is playing with some subject matter that seems to never get touched in this field. The closest I can think of is like some of the Mark Miller stuff, Jupiter's Legacy, that kind of era. This is playing with it with, the big boy Marvel characters, and it's fun just for that. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something off the beaten path and a little different Marvel, this is fun, and this is worth checking out if you need something a little different in your pile, but not too different. All right, let's talk Spectacular 299. Obviously, they want to do a lot of build for this issue because we got the big 300 a coming, and the first beat of this is playing a hero against hero thing with Black Panther from the last issue, which I finally realized, oh, the movie's coming out. That's the only reason they're bringing that character in, which is such a bummer. Because the idea of Black Panther and Spider-Man working together fits in a way, but also pushes both characters in a different place. So I think it's actually a fairly interesting team up. And I feel like a straight team up story between those two could really be fertile ground for some new stuff to be done. But here, a lot of it is played with some characters trying to chase after Spider-Man and his sister, and off the idea that they can't fly, so they get in a plane and then he webs up stuff. But what's weird is he's being carried away by someone who can fly, yet he's Spider-Man. He can't fly, but he can swing, and he's in New York, and it's just such a weird beat to focus on when this is the most defining visual thing about Spider-Man as a character is his ability to move through metropolitan areas like that as if he was flying, yet not. It's so dynamic, and it's so the first thing you know about this character. Uh, you get that from watching a movie trailer or a cartoon trailer or seeing a cover or anything. And I don't know, the fact that they rested so much of the book there, there's a few twists, there's a few moves, but again, this book is set up, and we're going to see where it lands in 300. So, I don't know, it's a feeder issue. I don't know if I could have expected more. Okay, so in order to have enough to talk about here, I need to talk about Venom Inc.'s Part 5 and 6 together, because only with a little duality do I feel we kind of get anywhere with it. Part 5 in Venom is just kind of a bridge between where the story was and how it kind of naturally progressed to get to the ending. The ending having to be in part 6, all the main players fighting and all of the noise removed. So all that part 5 does is set it up so that all the people who had the various symbiotes, the entire threat, really, when you break it down, are all absorbed into this new criminal. And that's really all it's doing plot-wise. There's a few character moments, I guess. There's a little bit done, but really this is a 90s bang 'em up brawler issue, and the art in it represents that. Proportions are all over the place. It's very black, it's very inky, it's very symbiote friendly, I guess, in a way, and the characters just have this look. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it fits the book in a way. I think the art for this works. When we get to Omega, um, we have some artists that have been doing Spider-Man for a long time. We have like Stegman and whatnot, and here, let's just look. We have Stegman and Sandoval being the main artist, and then we have inker and Leistine, and then a color artist and Brian Reaver. So people who know their way. This doesn't look like a Spider-Man book. This doesn't look like a major comic book. Proportions are again all over the place, and not just for the symbiotes that are ballooning and shrinking. Spider-Man at one point looks like he's like a 400-pound meat boy, uh, and it's just all over the place. And through both of these, I found myself skimming. The art and action and punching just led to like, we're just moving this along, and nobody seemed to really care about the story. The art reflects that too. They didn't really seem to care about the storytelling here. They seemed to care about the hits, and that was it. And I just can't find myself in this book fits so much of what people might like about a Spawn or other books, and to me this has just pulled me out. And so with this event being so lackluster, I don't know, it's very skippable. Venom Inc. has been the worst part of Spider-Man in a long time, and more notably, Venom Inc. has been the worst part of Venom since it's rebooted by a mile. This was a team up that dragged both characters down, and I think it kind of proves that maybe they just need to move Venom out of the Spider-Man space completely, because that character needs to have his own identity and his own motives and his own world to play with, and if it bumps up against Spider-Man in a natural place, go for it, but let it sing on its own, because this, I think, breaks it once and for all and proves that symbiotes just don't work with character-driven stories unless you're going to really dig in on a single character, because you have, it's essentially a device to allow internal monologue, and if you're not going to touch that, you're not really going to touch any of the character potential of what you're using. So don't. Let the strengths lie where they will, and don't try to force this thing because of some nostalgia.